Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on another episode of unit creation? I don't know what to call this. I wanted to record an episode of me creating a unit in Supreme Commander because that is a game that I greatly enjoy, but I understand why no one is really playing or creating units for it anymore. I mean, it's a very outdated game, but it's still amazing. I wanted to show the process of how to create a unit. At some point I'll go into a very in-depth explanation on how to do this. It took me many weeks of researching, digging up old forms, and figuring out everything that I need to do to create a unit in Supreme Commander. Now, of course, this is going to be in the context of Supreme Commander. There may be a lot that you won't know about if you haven't played the game, which I imagine a lot of people won't have because it's very old. It's old but gold, it really is. It's such an amazing game. I just find making units so fun. It's very enjoyable for me. And it's been a great learning experience because I had to learn Blender, a program that I used to be familiar with. And I had to relearn it again, which I have. On top of relearning it again, I had to relearn an older version. So that added more to the challenge. So to my point, the Illuminate units, or some Illuminate structures I should say, could float on water. And my unit that I'm planning to create is going to be no exception. My plan is to create a anti-artillery structure. It's similar to the anti-tactical missiles, but it's only going to work on artillery. So, let's begin. I also, as you will see, disclaimer, I don't create these models. Because if I were to create these models, I would have to learn the fundamentals of what makes a Cybran unit a Cybran unit. And since I didn't create them, I will never truly know that in the sense that I would need to create a model from scratch. Nor do I have the ability to do that. I only have the ability to take existing models and morph them to my liking. And that's how I prefer to do it, and there's no harm in that, so that's what I'm going to do. Now I should have a game still open. These are the 3 units that I'm going to use. These things. Well, for my purposes, I'm going to get rid of them. I wanted to experiment with this, see how it's taken. So like I said, I am very passionate about doing this. I find it amazingly fun. I'm adding a new unit which changes the game to a certain degree and just adds that much more content to mess around with. I could use the plate though, because that looks pretty cool. I'm definitely going to get rid of that top one. Oh man, when I do a tutorial on this, there's going to be so much I have to go over. But I am more than happy to do it. So I definitely want this to be bigger, so I gotta grab the bones. There we go, that's the bones. That's not going to make any sense yet, and wow, that looks amazing. I was thinking, what if I just got rid of this? Oh, that does look pretty cool without it. Let me just make it nice and big so I can get a look at what it is. That right there looks cool. But it's not what I'm going for. Did I resize this? Yeah, I think maybe I did. I don't know. Say, what is this? Okay. Alright, I see. Oh no, those are the rotators. I like that. Yeah, that's adding that. I like that. This needs to be removed a little though. I don't want that to be hidden away. This is just going to be a lot of me toying around and seeing what I want to do. Let's see. Well, first let me do the easy part. Whoa. Don't want that. I want all of this though. Alright, so that's all we got, yep. Now I angle myself right around here. Want to grab those and that. Ooh. I do want this?
Yeah, I want that. Wait, yeah, I do. I'll try. Not entirely certain how I'm gonna do this, but we're gonna figure it out. I think that is what I need to do. And I need to grab those two. Cool. Very awkward angle right now, but that's okay. Cool. So now if I were to grab this on the X, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I will do that right to about there. So I gotta make this look better. Alright, so... Oh, I know what I can do. Just grab all of these. Now I'll be grabbing that entire face. Okay. Ooh, it's at an angle. That's gonna make things interesting. Want that about there, though, a little bit more. Where was that in relation? Oh. Ah, I got an idea. I can just move this here. Rotate on Z. That to be right about there. Move that along the Y. Right there. Move it back on the X to there. I like that. I like that a lot. This makes it look like it's some sort of radar. This is also radar, that's part of this. And right up here is where I'm going to have the anti-projectile come out. So what I need to do is grab... Oh, wow. Okay, if I were to just grab this point and move it down this way, that makes it look better. So, to keep proportions, I'm just going to do it twice on both of those. And that looks significantly better, so now obviously from the side you won't notice the overhang. Cool, I like where this is going. This looks really neat. I'm leaving this part under intentionally so that when, or if it does get built, what is it, on water, it'll still look how it should. And to further help that, I will grab these down. Just like that. If I hit unlock one, I get this nice view, which I can make sure they are exactly the same. Or it's pretty close to. Cool. Alright, I really like where this is going. And I can just take this. Let's see here. I want to get all of this. Looking good, looking good. Grab that little bit. I think that's the vertex I want, or vertex that I want. Cool, now I go down here. And that, and it should all, yep, be selected. Cool. So now I just move this along the X, move it in slightly on the Y, and rotate on the Z. I want to move it slightly over. Let me just move that slightly over. Fix that.
The one problem that this just reminded me of is I can't see the Z fighting doing this. I won't be able to see any of the texture issues if there are any. That's one downfall. But I'll figure that out in game and I can just fix that later if I have to. Now let me grab this in edit mode. Grab Z. Cool. I am very happy with how this is looking right now. I think that looks insanely cool. I think that would look cooler if it was on center. So I think I'm gonna move that as close to on center as I can get. There we go, it's right about perfect. And now I knew that would happen. So what I figured I would do is rotate just about like that. Oh wait, did that uncenter it? Ooh, that did uncenter it. Now it's almost precisely on top. And that looks really, really cool if you ask me. I am thrilled with how this came out. I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of Z fighting though, so I don't know how much I want to do that. It's very one-sided, like you don't see them coming out here as much you do. I won't worry about Z fighting right now though. Without a doubt. Let me go into pose mode. I think this, yeah, this definitely should spin. Always be spinning. Maybe this too. Might as well. Anyhow, I should probably explain this unit a little bit more like I was about to. Anti-artillery. And this bone right here, this bone is going to act as a muzzle that'll shoot out, or not shoot out, but it'll be the location where projectiles spawn. And it's going to spawn a projectile that'll move towards the artillery projectile and it'll destroy it. Alt P, okay. Clear parent and keep transfer. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So now if I go into edit mode, if it stays the same. So now we have this mesh, and that's what we're gonna want. We're gonna want to have 3 meshes. I'll join them later, then I'll only have one bone. I have 2 unit/script files that I'm going to look at. What I need to do is I need to merge these. This is all the information for a structure unit, and this is the information for anti-projectile. And now that I think about it, actually, I'm going to copy wherever the spinner is. I'm going to copy that. So now I got the effects, and I have the effects of the shield unit that I'll need later, and the spinners, and then I have the functionality of the anti-nuke. I'm going to merge them into one thing. Now I gotta select these. So I don't want that. It's neither of those. All of that should be fine. Now we're getting into the coding part of this. Artillery defense. Structure. Now I gotta give it a clever and witty name. Actually, no, I'm just gonna leave it as, I'm just gonna put it as anti-artillery. Some of the Illuminate names are just a play on words, like we do both, or however it's pronounced, is just we do both, because it's a fighter and bomber. We do both? It might be we do both, I'm not sure. But it's just a play on words. I was thinking about doing that here, but I can't think of anything, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna alter the health. Since it is artillery defense and not nuke defense, I'm going to lower its health slightly. UIB 0109A. This is the rebuild bonus, so when your unit gets destroyed, you can put it back on top of the mesh and get a bonus in its health when you're first building it, so it doesn't take as long. I'm going to tone that down to 950, and likewise this to 425. Slightly lower. 105. That very slightly lower too. Change that to 650. Give it a little less experience when you kill it. Now it'll not use ammo. So anti-nuke, get rid of all those. Anti-artillery. This should work as I think it will. I have of course not tested it yet because I've never created a unit like this, but I think this will work. And just in case you happen to be placing this over water, that's going to be a place where you can place it. Let me get the way of doing that really quick. It should be a lot, so 20 instead. That's going to need to go here. Indirect fire. Requires ammo. False. Well, that looks good. Now this is anti-tactical missile, which I'm going to remove, because this is not going to get that. No anti-tactical missile for you. I'm sorry. There we go. Looks good. If I were to move this back in... Edit mode. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, why isn't all of it selected? I can move all of this back in, making things easier for myself in the future. I can just... X... Y... Oh. There we go. X... I'm trusting it's not messing with me. Y... Move in a little bit more. Rotate X. I don't want to be that close. Y, X, nope. X, right about there. I just want to make these match up, be parallel. As close to parallel as I can get them. Then I'll move this along the X a little bit, and or Y and then X. Actually, even better plan. So that'll be about perpendicular, right?
Oops. I think that's perpendicular. It's a little bit too far. That was perpendicular. And I would say that is where I want it. Oh, I haven't been moving this. Do I have to undo all that and do it again? That'll be best bet, yeah. Don't worry, I will be editing all of this, so you don't have to suffer with me. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get it back to where it was. They're clearly different. What I can do is just go with a guess. It's not going to be easy aligning those. Yeah, that was good. And I just gotta find wherever this one's is. Which is somewhere in there. That should be right there, I think. Let's select that one. Then just move that one out. Yeah, that's a much better way of doing that. They aren't perfectly symmetrical, but it does look nice. Alright. That'll make things easier on me, because now I can keep the size the same, which means I don't have to deal with the uncertainty of having the size off. Because of course these units use a hitbox, and there's no way of telling what the hitbox is in-game without very carefully setting things up, so it's extremely difficult to know. So with all of those being in good positions and...
One other thing about how I do this, I don't clean up. So when I'm importing all of these models, I'm of course not hiding away all of the parts of the mesh that you won't be able to see. So it will have performance impacts. I want this effect because it looks cool and I'm taking it. It already has effects. Well, it's gonna have more effects. Save that. I don't care about level of detail. There's no need to worry about the very small performance impact that would have. There it is. Isn't it sexy? Alright, let's see. That's the theoretical anti-artillery. Speed up the game once it gets placed. It should not crash. There we go, and we know it works to a degree. Now I need to get rid of that button. I also need to add the effect going through the where is it there? It should have the effect from the just the intelligence. the radar installation. You should have a blue line going through it. That. Oh, it's probably just too small. Aw, feels bad. I'll never get to see it. It's too small. A few minor issues that I'll fix right now. One thing I forgot to do was change the muzzle. Now it'll come from the correct location. There's nothing I can do about the effect. And of course, as you saw, the texture mapping wasn't perfect, but I'm not going to be worrying about that, because I think it was beautiful. The reason the texture mapping is different is because I took the texture mapping from the anti-nuke. So the anti-nuke looks fine. Other units, the shield and radar installation, they don't have the exact same locations for the textures as the anti-nuke does. So those two meshes will look wrong, but everything else will look fine. Alright, so after a lot of testing that, very fortunately, you'll have to sit through. It's all going to be edited out. I have got the unit to a pretty stable point where it's very accurate, hitting just about every single projectile that comes through. That one was an exception, but if we were to watch here, you can see all the ones that get stopped. Only when there's this effect is when they hit. Like that one hit, that one hit, that one hit, that one might have been out of range, that one hit, that one hit. That one's out of range, those two are out of range, I think. There we go. Anything within the red circle is in range. So far, 3. That one's right on the border. I'm not certain about that one. So was that hit there. But yeah, you can see most of these are getting stopped. There are a few that are getting through, but that's more than okay. A lot of these ones are getting through. It's got overwhelmed right there. It's getting very overwhelmed right now. But it's still doing a good job at stopping most of these. Stop, stop. And of course, it's just that more artillery is coming through. You can see out of this whole shower, only this many are getting through. One problem I have noticed is that it fires a little bit too late for some. So let me throw down 2. Just see how that goes. Now that there's a lot more artillery, you're gonna need more. So now it has been... Nope, not built yet. These take a while. There we go, now it's fully built. Oh, also, as you can now see, I forgot to point this out, it does have a fire rate, so that's why so many of these have been going through. And even right now, its fire rate can't keep up. So let me just... 2, 3 of these. I'm happy with this unit. I like where it is. The only thing that I want from it right now is to have the fire sound played. Now, if I tell it not to fire, is it going to obey? Why, yes it is. Then when I tell them to fire, now they're defending me again. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So this is how I feel the Illuminate anti-artillery would work. It would be firing projectiles, not using a beam to stop them. And it should have a hitbox of 4, so if we were to watch this one heading towards this, yeah, you can see it hit it from so far away. I did that so when it flies like how it did right there, it should have hit. It makes it more likely to hit than rather just fly right by one and miss. So, thank you all so much for joining me on this unit creation. This is something that I want to make a series out of. I have many units planned, and I have much more to do. This is just the beginning. And there's even a lot that can be learned from this. Whether anyone wants to use that knowledge or not, don't matter. I just want to create this and put it on a series. I would enjoy watching these. I don't know, it's something about it for me. So I'm gonna have to watch the response to this type of video and see if I should do it more or not. Anyhow, that's enough for me. Thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of Supreme Commander 2 Unit Creation. And I will hopefully see you on my next video, so if I will, see you there. I'll be waiting.